Okay, so Tony Gustavsson has just announced his first World Cup qualifying squad for games against Italy and Serbia. I'm going to be talking through the team, giving me your thoughts below on what you think of the team. It's interesting. There's obviously some issues in defence and some other interesting talk points. So yeah, that's what I'm going to talk about today. So if there's something you're interested in, then subscribe. I talk about all things Sweden women's national team. Now, let's get into it. So, first of all, let's talk about the defence because obviously that is a a big issue. I spoke about this. I did a video about this a few days ago, talking about the centre backs. Obviously, okay, so Sembrant and Magdalena Eriksson have retired. You've got Natalie Bjorn injured. She's just back in training for Chelsea. There was a picture they posted yesterday, I think. Today's Wednesday, the day I'm recording it, the 18th. Amanda Illisted is also injured. She's lost loads of experienced defenders there. Sandberg has now picked up an injury at Man United, who's Tony's first choice left back. So he's lost a lot of players. But he's not. I'm not sure. So I'm not sure about this. So first of all, he's got Smilla Holmberg, of course, you'd expect. Doing well. Her move to Arsenal is really good for her. Hannah Lundqvist, who's obviously just moved to Man United, who's now he's got in the defence. Last time he called her up as a midfielder. He talked about in the press conference that she's still going to play. She still could play midfield, but this camp she's going to be used more as a right back. I think I've made it clear on this before. If you listened to me before, that I'm not a massive fan of Lundqvist in midfield. She just looks uncomfortable. She doesn't look right. Maybe I really hope I'm proved wrong and she looks better there. But I kind of just want her to be used in her best position. She doesn't suit the role, in my opinion. But okay, so the main thing is the centre backs. You've got Bella Anderson, who and Nell Hager, and then you've also got Sophia Reedy, who I know is kind of a fullback, kind of a centre back. She kind of plays both. I don't really know much about Sophia Reedy. I didn't include her in my video last time when I was talking about the centre backs that could be brought in, simply because I didn't think she would be, because she's not playing loads for Hammarby, so she comes off the bench a lot. People say, like, Tony seems to think she's doing really well. From what I've heard from other fans, they say she's doing well. She's obviously a good player, but she's not playing loads, and I think maybe there's some other better options there. But Nell Hager and Bella Anderson, kind of similar in that they're both playing for a top club, Real Madrid and Lyon, and both are coming in and out of the team. They've got getting a lot of minutes, not like starting every game, but Bella Anderson's doing really well at Real Madrid as well. She's very good progressing the ball out from the back. She looks. I think Tony will like that. She looks like she can really break the lines with her passes. She looks good, and I mean Sophia Reedy. It's very young. It's very young centre backs. You've got Nell Hager is 22, Bella Anderson's 19. Sophia Reedy's played with the under 23s, but it's only 21. And like I said, she's not starting every game. So for me, I would have called up Emma Gullberg, okay, who's not playing loads. I would have called up. I know she's 34, but she's experienced. She's been in the team before. I think we needed that with a centre back, because we pretty much got two centre backs plus one who's kind of inexperienced, but sort of sometimes plays fullback as well. In Sophia Reedy, but another one that he could have called up, obviously Josephine Rybrink. He could have called up Alice Carlson, who again I didn't mention in my last video, simply because I didn't think he would call up someone from Hammarby, just because if he didn't call them up before and then they've not played for a while, it's obviously for Sweden the year's not started. I mean the season's not started yet. But Alice Carlson's consistently been a good player. She's 30 now though and has never had a cap, but she's consistently been a good player that starts every game for Hammarby. Whereas Sophia Reedy, who I know is more of the future, but I would have probably preferred Carlson to get called up. Sophia Reedy, if you look at her minutes, a lot of the games she's getting subbed on 46th minute, 70th minute, 85th minute. So she's not played much. But I'm also not going to massively judge her because I've not really watched her. I won't lie. I watched some of the highlights in the Damallsvenskan, but I don't follow it as closely as I would of other games. So I'm not going to comment on her too much because Tony clearly rates her. I'm just a bit worried about the lack of experience there. I also Amanda Nilden, nice to see her in the squad because I've been talking about that she should be in the squad. Sad about Sandberg because I think she's doing so well this season. And Amanda Nilden has been a part of a really important to Tottenham side, getting up really high, but sometimes can get caught out a bit. I don't think she's been perfect. She's now got some competition with Yuli Blackstead, which will be I think good for her because before she was starting every game. Obviously Hannah Vik has now joined her. So Hannah Vik has had one cap against Luxembourg under Gerhardsson in 24, where she did quite well, but that was Luxembourg. She's moved to Tottenham. I've watched a lot of Tottenham's games this season, but not the past two, in which were the only two she's actually played. I mean, she came on for a few minutes there, but I'm going to watch that Aston Villa one to see how she does. And obviously, Vinberg as well is there, and Nilden's also in that game. But I don't. I'm not going to judge SofaScore ratings really because you never really know. Not bad stats against Chelsea, but I prefer to watch the game to really test that. But she's someone who can play right back, left back, and Tony said in the press conference that she is also an option at centre back. Again, though, like I think he's gone a bit too far. I know he's got to do the generational change. He always speaks about this. I know he's got to play younger players, but you've already got two very young and inexperienced players who are probably going to start, Nell Hager and Anderson, and your next two options at centre back are Sophia Reedy, who's not even starting really games in the Damallsvenskan, or was before her move to Hammarby, and now she's a bit more of a fringe player for a top team, but I think I'd still want her starting before I really trust that she's like really ready. And then Hannah Vik, again, one cap, who is a fullback. You know, it's a bit weird. I also think it's kind of funny that he's called up Fridolina Rolfö as a defender, purely because I think it's purely just been like, oh look, you know, the defenders aren't too inexperienced. You know, you got this old head experience, and he literally did say that. So I think that's a bit. I mean, look, if he's gonna, I think he said he's gonna she's more likely going to play, or she's primarily been called up as a defender this window, and if she's going to play there, she's not played there for Sweden. She has for Barcelona. That's in an entirely different league where you're dominating a lot of the ball for a team, and you're not really worrying about the other side part of your game. So to say that she's the experienced player and therefore can maybe, you know, if she's starting and she's got two very inexperienced centre backs alongside her, I don't really think having a left winger that barely plays fullback is going to be the best. Is going to be oh yeah, that's going to help them. I don't really think that's screaming. I don't think she really screams experience. You know, I just think it's a bit of a cop out putting her there. That's just my opinion in terms of him. Kind of, he's put this list out, and it just feels a bit like. I think I'm reading too much into it. Sorry, that was me just drinking water. I also apologise if I've come across a bit negative because I'm not. I think there's some really good players here, and literally, I think if it was Bjorn was fit, she'd be in there, and there probably wouldn't be Sophia Reedy, and I'd be pretty happy with that. It's just the way he spoke about Rolfö in the press conference, saying, we called her up as a defender because she's obviously now the most experienced one there, and it's kind of like, but she's not really an experienced defender, is my point. I hope you get my point. I'll stop going on about that now, but I just, yeah, so it'll be really interesting to see sets up. Because of this, I will probably make a starting 11 prediction next week, just because it will be really interesting to see who he actually picks. It will probably be Holmberg or Lundqvist, and then Nell Hager, Anderson, and then Nilden or Rolfö. I wouldn't be surprised if Rolfö starts there. And I have no issue with she starts there because I think she can play that role. But I don't think that's. I think it's going to be. I think that's still a really risky back line. So like I said, I would have called up Kullberg, even Rybrinck, who I know has been playing fullback all season, and I know she's not been playing that great, but I would have called her up. Or Alice Carlson, really, who I didn't mention in the last video, but simply because I didn't know who's going to call up someone from the Damallsvenskan in that position for this window. Yeah, so that's kind of my thoughts there. Yeah, I haven't missed anything. Midfield, you've obviously got midfield we're always short in. I've spoken about this before, But Angeldal, I mean, Hannah Benison, really nice to see her back because she's been playing a bit more for Real Madrid. Still only a bit off the bench. She's had a few starts, did score on the weekend. But it's nice to see her playing a bit more, and she definitely should be in the squad. Even if when she wasn't playing, I didn't see the reason to drop her because we're so short there as just out and out midfielders. We just have Benison, Zagotti Olmo, Angeldal, and then Lundqvist is now the other option there. So I really think that Benison does need to be in there, and she's also very experienced as well. She's played for being so young as well. She's been in the team what feels like forever. So like, it feels like something that Tony would like, an experienced player and also a young player. Seems like, I'm just surprised she got dropped basically. But nice to see her in there. I don't think Angeldal's having the greatest season. I was speaking to some Real Madrid fans and they were not as impressed, and also just looking on social media on like the comment sections of like lineups when she starts. I think it was the Champions League. People were like, oh, not Angeldal again. So I hope. Look, I don't think she's been that good under Tony. I also think she was perfect for what Gerhardsen wanted in that midfield role, where he gave her a lot of freedom on that right hand side to just get on the edge of the box, have those shots, link up with Connerid, and it worked really well. And she obviously hit also a really good purple patch from February 2025 until the Euros, and I think it's quite and I think it suddenly feels like under Tony she kind of started a few games, was on bench a few games, and we didn't really see much. We didn't really see the real Angeldal we've seen a lot in the national team. It's a shame. I hope she can find that level again. But as for Zagotti Olmo, who's playing brilliantly, I mean she's playing brilliantly. So Zagotti Olmo has been playing brilliantly. I mean, look, I go on about her so much the past year because I think she was really undervalued pre-Euros. She was playing so well. After Euros, I think everyone appreciates her now, and I think playing so well in the WSL, she's really appreciated. What I would say, though, is I always talk about her primarily from the aspect of kind of winning the ball back, such good hard work, reads the game so well, gets in tackles, wins her duels, and she's just so intelligent with that part of the game. But what she's been really good for Man United is she does play as more of like an 8, whereas for Sweden she's been playing kind of like a 6, like holding midfielder. She's got a lot more license to go box to box for Man United, and recently she's been getting loads of goals, getting assists, and what she's also really good at is her runs in behind, or her runs, and like I said, we don't really see that, or we haven't seen that since Zagotti's really become an important player in the national team. We've not seen that kind of attacking stuff from her. I know when she came through, she would play a bit. She's played box to box a lot in her career, but I just mean more so recently. It's just she's really developing her game even further in terms of she's got the license to be a more of an advanced player. And like I said, she's got the energy just to keep going and the energy to make runs, pull defenders out of positions and make room for other players. And she's also got really good passes on her. She's taking set pieces for Man United, getting assists. She's just in an amazing purple patch as well in terms of goals. Some of them from corners, some of them which was meant to be a cross. But yeah, she's playing so well. I've watched a lot of her games recently, specifically because I knew she was playing well, so I wanted to see more of her. So yeah, actually, just something I quickly missed on Rolfer is that she has been injured as well. So that's I knew that was the other reason why I found it a bit weird, because she started. I complained a bit about that. I didn't think she started that well at Man United. She was slowly getting into it. She started looking better, getting some really important goals before the winter break. She came back from the winter break injured. We hadn't seen her. Then we saw her twice. We saw her twice. Yeah, this was her. She was doing really well. And then she came back, and then we saw her a bit off the bench. She was... Oh, no, so she did play there. Yeah, and then she was injured. Then she came back with some decent performance. Looked good against Liverpool. She looked really nice goal, really nice run. She is such a quality player, but she just needs to be... She's just struggling with her fitness. And then she's been injured. So I didn't know whether she was definitely going to be in this squad, because she's not played since the 7th, and missed the weekend, missed the Champions League midweek. So, I mean, she's got to be close to being fit. But yeah, that was just something else I wanted to mention on her. But I do think when she's been playing, she's looking a bit stronger than I thought she did at the start of the season. This is the squad, the players that have been called up. Ignore the numbers; these are their ages. But this was also from I did this in October, and then I've just added the new players into this squad, or moved some players. So just this is just generally just to see the squad and the formation, and then where there's depth. So as I said, the centre back's a bit light. It's not that really will be starting. I just put it there. And yeah, as the midfield is light as well. Forward areas. So Richie Carneridge, she plays. She's going to play. She's, I think, a player that could provide her a bit more composition in the future. There is Alice Bergstrom, who I think might be injured. I don't know, but I also think she might just not be in the squad. She was called up as a right back in the last squad. I think she's been playing Liverpool. She's been playing well for Liverpool, Alice Bergstrom, but also sometimes lacks the final ball or the final quality. But she's also she plays quite similarly to Conrad in that she likes the ball on the right hand side. She likes to get the ball and then take on her player and test them for pace. And she's got a lot of pace and likes to maybe cut back inside. So she's pretty. I do like her, and I think she's probably the future player to try and compete with Conrad, even though she was in the squad last time as a right back. But I think probably in the WSL she's not been trusted there since moving to Liverpool. But good move for her. But yeah, Conrad's going to play. She's in and out of the Chelsea team. Is she playing amazingly? No. I mean, I always have this thing. I think she could be so good. And she is very good. But I just mean she could be banging in the goals. She just doesn't always take her chances, and it's that final product sometimes for Conrad. But she's still nailed on for me. I mean, give me your thoughts below if you disagree. But I think for most people she will be. Eslani, she's doing well at London City, really need her experience, so she's obviously in there. Kafaji, I think Kafaji's a really good player. My issue with Kafaji is that I feel like she can go missing in games. So, but overall, if she is in a game and she gets the ball, then I think then I think she's got so much. She's got that X factor. She's so good with the ball at her feet. It looks almost very easy for her. She's one of those players where it looks quite easy for her, and she can whip in a good pass. She's got so much technical quality. She's such a high level player with such high level sort of high ceiling. I think that at Brighton, I think I've seen those moments Everton away, London City at home. These games where she's actually been playing on the left. So that's one thing I should have said that. She's been playing on the left a lot this season. That's pretty much where she played every game. Some games she played through the middle. And I think she takes on her opposition fullback really well. And she looks really quite dangerous. But I also know she does have that quality. And I think her best position is still the 10. And that's why I put her here. But she could be used out on the left as she's done well there. But I would be lying if I said she's been doing exceptionally, because she's not scored a goal or an assist for a while. Like I said, she can go missing in moments. That's my biggest issue with her. I find she could be Brighton's best player and main player, and I don't watch them enough to really clarify whether she is or not. But I don't think she is. I don't think she needs to stamp her authority on a game a bit more. And that kind of links a bit similarly to Vinberg. I'm really happy Vinberg's in. She's been doing really solidly. She played loads of games for Tottenham this season. Really solid work from her. And then is that she's a very reliable presser. She's good on both feet. She's going to get another good technical player. Good on both feet. Again, for her, I want more. I think she can take on more players. I think she could have shots like she did. She's got a brilliant goal against West Ham. That was a brilliant goal. I think she could do that more, and I think that's I think that's something I have with Vinberg. But overall, really good young player. Not been in the squad for a while, and I think she deserves her opportunity. She's a really hard-working, honest player. Knows she's really good at tracking back a fullback, but also when to press. She's pretty good at that. And she's really been a reliable performer for Martin Ho this season without excelling. And I hope she would really step on this season. And I don't think she has, but I think she's also stepped up as a really solid level WSL player. But I think she can go up another level and really try and create more chances and be more of a stamp on the game. Because when I watch her, I think she's more of a kind of solid, she gets the ball good on both feet, good close ball control with her feet, and then and then release the pass to someone else who's going to do a bit more for her. Like, I don't think she's outstanding in that. UC Bar, obviously really well liked by Tony. She's going to be starting. Oh no, she's not going to be starting. She's obviously very well liked by Tony. Might be starting. But I think I've always said I like her as a different profile. I think she's still got a lot to learn. But as a different profile of someone who's pacey and direct as that left winger, because a lot of the other players we have there like to come inside, like Vinberg, Kafaji, a bit different. And then strikers, interestingly enough, a lot of these strikers have been injured. So Blomqvist has been injured for a while. She's back now, and she's been playing, scoring goals. I think she deserves that. EJ has been, she's been out since December, and I haven't checked, but I assume therefore injured. So I wasn't sure whether she was going to be in the squad. But I do like her as a player that can hold up the ball, that can link play out. She just had a really good patch of form for Milan, a bit ago. Okay, and I saw some of these games, and she was playing really well, and really good in front of goal, of course. Stina's been out. Stina has been out since, God knows how long she's been out. Not that long. She's been like 18 days. She's missed the last few games, so I didn't know whether she was going to be fit. Obviously, though, if she's fit, she's the first choice. Who else were we looking at? I just had a blame rack. Skroda obviously is a kind of a bit of a favourite of Tony's. I think she's still got a lot to learn. Let's see how she does. And then Blomqvist. Blomqvist was injured for a while, and she's done pretty well this season, really, for Frankfurt. She was injured for a while, and she's back in. She's playing right now while she's on the bench. She's scoring. She's come back into the team after being out November till February. Let's see her stats for this season. Yeah, 6 goals, a goal every 2 games. Pretty good record. I do like her. I feel bad for Blomqvist because I feel like she's been recently. For the past 2 years, she's just been in the squad. She's been in the squads, but just like never really plays or gets the few minutes in a random position in the front line. She's got that versatility to play in these other positions, but it'd be nice to see her get a better opportunity. But I also don't think she's taken it in the small opportunities she's gotten. But yeah. So other players missing here is Beta Olsen, who was doing really well for Liverpool. Picked up an injury, and she's been back now and hasn't actually been coming on. I know they've signed 2 strikers since. They've signed Martha Thomas and Shilag, I think that's how you pronounce it. But they've both been playing ahead of her, and they've been both playing well. Liverpool are doing well, but I don't know whether she's still unfit or something, but she's just not gotten back into the team. So I'm a bit worried. I mean, I can quickly show you that as well. Sorry, if you like me doing searching on the SofaScore, if you don't like it, you can say. So she came back for this one, substituted in the 86th, and then didn't play either of these games. So I guess she's back fit, but she was on such a good run of goals. I'd love to see her back in the team. Well, I'd love to see her given a chance. She was in the last squad through injury because Blomqvist was injured. Another player here is obviously Ellen Wangenheim. So I was a bit confused. I was a bit confused about this move at the time. So she obviously moved to Man United. They obviously have 3 strikers already. They have Schüller, they have Mallard, and they have Turland. Obviously, Mallard can play out wide, but I did think she's not going to play much. And straight away, Skinner, the manager, said that she was going to be primarily used as a right winger, or like we see her in that role, simply because they don't have a right winger. They needed a right winger, Man United. And they've kind of bought her to play her there, and she looks uncomfortable. It just doesn't work, and that's where she's been coming on every game or starting games. Some games she looked all right, another game she looked really quite poor. Like, she looks... I was impressed by her, and I wanted her in some of the squads. She was obviously looked good in the Euros and the few games she came off the bench. I was impressed by her in the... I wanted her in the autumn squads. But actually, I'm okay with her not being in the squad. And it's not her fault, really, that she's obviously being played out of position. But she also doesn't look great because she looks a bit slow. And I know that, again, it's not her position, but she's not really... She's kind of not winning duels. She looks... she's kind of losing the ball. She's not really she looks pretty poor. She looks pretty poor, and I don't mean that in a bad way because I do rate her, but she's not looking good. But I also know there's a quality player in there, and I do feel bad for her because it's not her fault. So I'm not going to fully judge her until she's back. But for me, there's no surprise she's not in the squad. I know some people are like, oh, wanting her in the squad. For me, she can't be in this squad when there's all these strikers playing really well, and they are, there's good strikers and they're playing really well at striker. And unfortunately, she's not playing really well at striker right now because she's not playing striker, and then she's not playing very well where she is playing. So I hope it doesn't wreck her confidence. That's what I'm a bit worried about because she's a good player. So that's pretty much all. I've talked for so long. Oh, and Cornelia Capox as well. Tony did mention here, which I'm really glad about because she's doing really well for Liverpool, and I've been watching a lot of her. Again, she's pretty good. She's looked good since she's moved more centrally. She's almost playing an 8 because Liverpool kind of play a 4-3-3, like a deep midfielder and 2 in front, and she's really good at taking the ball on the half turn and then driving with it. And look, I can see why she's not in the squad because she's not the fastest or she's not the most technical, and she's just not the best player. But I think she's developed so much under Gareth Taylor as a manager, and she looks like she's got a lot more about her now. And like I said, she can drive with the ball. Sometimes just silly passes let her down, but sometimes her passes sliding in players can be really good. I really like her, and I think she would have deserved a call up. She definitely is in the form of her life, but there's other players in her position, and I do think players like Vinberg and Kafaji are younger and with higher ceilings. Also, No Ye, not necessarily surprised. I've realised I've talked for ages. If you like that kind of video, then honestly tell me below. If you prefer a shorter video than something, I'm also maybe interested in getting other people on to talk to as well. So give me your thoughts below on something like that. And yeah, subscribe for more content. I'll be probably doing a starting 11 prediction. I'll be doing reviews for the matches and stuff. So but thank you for watching. If you've watched this far, thank you so much because it's been a long one. And I'll see you next time.